arrival. Folks, we are live. I see the little thing that popped up there on my screen. Good evening. Sorry, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to your weekly edition of Mauls, Balls and All. I am broadcasting from a different location this evening. I'm down in Wexford, hence all this behind me, and why I'm holding the microphone, which is quite awkward as opposed to the other usual thing. Anyway, you are more than welcome. Joining me, because we always say we go live at 8:30, there are a couple of other people who are late, most notably Claire and Richard Holland, who, in fairness to them, said they would be late. But at the moment, we have a couple of faces who will be very familiar to viewers of this show. We have Matt Boland. Matt, how the hell are you?
I'm smashing. Can't complain.
Good man. And we have, as I always introduce him, as the most Dublin Munster supporter ever, Dave Sheedy. How the hell are you?
Pretty good, and still a traitor.
I thought you said still attractive.
No, well,
he was never attractive.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Well, there you go. Okay, folks, I tell you what, before we go into the list of stuff that I sent you, and Dave, you got it, Matt, you obviously got it in the chat group as well. One thing that popped up, and it's actually a day old, but I only saw it about half an hour, 45 minutes ago, was the top 10 teams in the world. I thought this was fascinating. The top 10 teams in the world within 5 years of each other. So, Matt, I'll ask you, I'll come to you first on this, Matt. The 19th of August, 2019, you saw it, the number one team in the world 5 years ago, right, was Wales. Fast forward 5 years later, the 20th of August, 2024, Wales aren't even in the top 10. Now, there was another loss there. Hold on. We have Monsieur Holland. How the hell are you?
How are you? Are we well?
Well, Richie, what's the crack?
Are you well in yourself?
What's the story with the dildo in front of your mouth?
You see, if you were on time, you would have heard my explanation.
I have bills to pay. I'm too old for OnlyFans. I have bills to pay.
Yeah, okay. if you're on time, you would have heard. Oh,
here's trouble now. Oh, no, it's not. Thought it was clear.
Monsieur Gaston. How are you, folks? Dara, have you got your microphone on?
I have. I don't have a fancy microphone like you have.
I don't. You know what the fuck I'm doing? I've moved. I'm not at home. I don't have my holder thing, so I have to do this. Anyway.
What stadium is Dave sitting in?
Oh, for fuck's sake, Jesus Christ, I can't even get through me fucking first question. Oh, here's Claire.
Hello.
Oh, no. Devo!
Hello.
Are you well?
I am.
Good stuff. Good to see you. Right, anyway, welcome one and all. I'll just go back to the question I was starting with, folks. It wasn't on the list I sent you all. I just saw it today. And I was going to ask Matt first that there was a list that I saw that I posted into the group, and I'm after losing it now on my photographs. I'm after hitting my thumb hit off. Oh, there it is. Within the space of 5 years, 19th of August 2019, Wales were number one in the world. Fast forward 5 years, 20th of August 2024, Wales aren't even in the top 10. Matt Boland, that is a very, very sad indictment on the state of Welsh rugby. Bad decision making, just bad everything from the Welsh RFU.
They are shy.
All right, Matt. Thank you very much for that very informative response. Now, go on, Matt. I'm only joking.
No offense, sitting here, you all know that. No, well, look,
go on, Matt. Sorry.
I suppose, I think it was very lucky that they were number one in the world. It was just a case of other results that pushed them up to number one back then.
It was.
We know how tight that whole system is, and you know, at any one time, the top four could all leapfrog each other. You know, so I wouldn't be too disheartened if I was a Wales fan. Realistically, they will get better. They're not going to be out of the top 10 for long, I wouldn't imagine. But Wales rugby is in a very bad place at the moment. Will they get out of it? They should do, but it might take time, you know. But I wouldn't be fucking throwing the toys out of the pram just yet. If I was a Wales fan, you know, they'll come back eventually.
I would have all the toys out of the pram if I was a Welsh fan. Looking at that, to be honest with you. Anyway, Dave Sheedy, this the idea within a 5-year period you could go from number 1 to not even feature in the top 10. That's just
Yeah, I've kind of a personal point on this, and I've an actual probably better point. My personal point is I remember when Wales were up and they were high and everything. And the Lions tour, if anyone was on social media, that, and we're all giving out about Gatland picking certain players who happened to be in Australia touring with Wales or whatever, and then he brought them directly into the squad at the expense of probably better players that were back home. And if you said anything about it, Welsh people were jumping down your throat. So I have absolutely no sympathy for Wales whatsoever because they were so arrogant during that Lions. If you watch their clubs, any decision that goes against them, they boo, they boo, they boo, they boo. Now, there's obviously loads of sound Welsh people. We've a couple in the group, and they're great crack. But, like, Wales clubs have done nothing for a long, long time. And I think that their international team just hasn't developed because of it. Like, in the Pro 14, Pro 12, like, I mean, the Ospreys won, but they're their big money team. But, like, I mean, what have Dragons been doing? What have Scarlets been doing? What have, what's the other team?
Cardiff Blues.
Cardiff Blues. What have they done in Europe or in domestic league? They've done nothing. But yeah, these players go to the international setup, and then out of nowhere they win a Grand Slam, or they're competing for a championship. But it's clubs is debate. Like Ireland's clubs have always performed, whereas maybe our international team didn't perform as well as our clubs. But they've finally caught up now. Whereas I think the Welsh clubs have just underperformed year on, year out. So it's honestly, it's no surprise to me that they're in the disarray they're in. So that's
fair enough. Yeah, no. Thank you for that, Dave. Thank you for that, Matt. Richard Holland, your thoughts on this? That in a relatively short space of time to go from number 1 to be outside the top 10.
Yeah, it was coming. I think we were calling this when we started our video, however many years ago, that there was a chronic lack of investment into the club game in Wales, and I think that's what we're seeing now. Now, look, we need a strong Wales. The Six Nations need a strong Wales, and World Rugby needs a strong Wales. So I do hope they get their house in order and they do come back. But yeah, look, it's a sad thing, but at the same time, I have no sympathy because for a long time the Welsh thought that they were the shit, like that there was no one ever going to beat them, and they were going to be there forever. But no, I think they'll be back.
Yeah. Okay. Dara Weston, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I was actually talking to a lad I work with who's Welsh there today. I was saying to him, "What the name of Jay? How long has Gatland got?" And he said, "Look, we've lost a lot of big players. A lot of they've as I pointed out to them, they're losing young players to NFL as well, and foreign clubs. So he was saying they were kind of happy to get Gatland back because who else would take them? Like you could be left with like the likes of Eddie Jones. Gatland didn't go back.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cyclical. Yeah, like if we think the last time Leinster won a Heineken Cup, Cardiff won the Champions Shield in Bilbao. So, that's what six seasons ago. And since then the Welsh clubs have lost their power really. Certainly the fact that the Welsh clubs, two of the major 3 Welsh clubs are privately owned, has an impact on the WRU and their access to the players and the availability. So yeah, look, it'd be interesting to see the next World Cup because they have to blood young players because they've no fucking old players at this stage. They've all retired. So be interesting to see, do they do a France and come out looking much better with some kind of a DuPont that we haven't seen yet?
Yeah, maybe. Claire, what do you think about all this?
Yeah, Can they go? I was going to say, can they go any further down? They probably could. If Gatland let's be honest, Gatland didn't go back for the love of rugby. Gatland went back for the paycheck. He didn't. He didn't do it. He didn't do it to make Wales a better team, or he's there for the money and that's it. Yeah, hopefully you need a good Wales. It makes a good Six Nations. It keeps it competitive.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I was just trying to check there, folks, as you were talking. Was our video shared from the Ruckdis page into our own group? I just can't see it.
Is that Danny's job?
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't see it there, Claire, is it?
Okay, hold on. Wait, hold on.
Sorry.
My phone is out in the car.
I can do that.
No, it just says someone just messaged me there saying I can't see it in your group. Sorry, that's all. That's why I'm just checking.
Danny must be slacking, is he?
He's pulling off.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Hold on.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Thank you, Claire.
No problem.
Right. Anyway, back to the list that we were talking about. I think this is an intriguing idea, and I think this needs to be addressed. Excuse me. I don't really understand the thinking behind it, and this is where you have players. It's Irish, English, French. Well, I don't know about the French, but Irish, English, Welsh, certainly, and there's probably more. I don't know, but maybe you can correct me on this. When they play their
Sorry, that's shared now.
Okay, thanks, Claire. Appreciate that. When players play their club rugby outside of their home nation, and then in turn they're not available for, or they're not allowed, or whatever it is, they're restricted, or they can't be selected to play for their home nation. Now there has been
There's caveats on that.
I know. When Sexton went to racing, I know, but I don't think that should be in place at all. I think a rugby player, if they're Irish, if they're English, if they're Welsh, whatever the fuck it is, he or she should be allowed to play their rugby wherever they fucking want, and to get the money, get the good paycheck if they're good enough. Because as we all know, it's not a very long career. So you earn as much as you can. So I think this idea that players cannot be selected for their home country's international squad if they play the rugby abroad is absolutely ridiculous. Sorry, go on, Claire, go on.
It's going to hit the All Blacks, and it's hitting the All Blacks as we speak already. Richie Mwanga is no longer playing in New Zealand. He's in Japan. They're in Gulf 10. They're not allowed. He's not allowed to play for New Zealand. And you can kind of see it. Even Matt Gitto weighed in on that, saying he should be around because in Australia, they're allowed 3 players in their squad from outside Australia as long as they've had played 30 caps before they moved. Called the Gitto law. So, but New Zealand won't. We made an exception for Johnny, was it because we had no other 10? New Zealand are not making an exception for Mwanga, and it seems to be impacting them with their kicking.
Well, Claire, okay, your own opinion, as we all have our own opinion. Is it a stupid rule or law or whatever the fuck you call it?
I think what the Australians do, and that I think the Welsh do as well. You have to have played a certain number of games for your country, and a certain number of games, like you play for a number of years, or in your country, like for one of the provinces, or in New Zealand, one of the Super Rugby teams in New Zealand. I think that's probably a good way to go around. Because do we want to end up like football? Is what I'm going to say. That they go for the money.
But there is Claire. Just to draw on that, there is always the temptation to do it for the money, isn't it?
Yeah, there is always the temptation to do it for money, but therein lies the reason that they're doing it for the love of the game, or are they doing it for money? That's a whole different ball game.
Right. Okay. We
yeah, and as Matt said, I make a great politician. I say loads of words and specifically don't say anything.
Yeah. It was a simple yes or no question, and she went off on fucking a tangent there.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Have you ever met Claire, Matt, in the flesh? And she would actually have a 20-minute conversation about a spice bag.
I'm sure
It's
she
just-
will. Never,
it's
Oh,
just mental.
don't start me off. Oh, spike bag.
Dara Weston, this idea that, as I mentioned, if you're playing your club rugby abroad, you are, with a few exceptions, you are not available for selection for your country's international team. Is that a fair thing, or are the players right to go abroad, search the money, top up the pension, all the sort of stuff, because it is a short career?
It's so. Firstly, it's a short career, but it's a well-paying career.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lads earning over $500,000 with a provincial and a central contract.
But they're now, Derek, they're few and far between now.
Yeah, but then it's not their only career. Look at Sexton. He's gone on to sell glass and stuff like that now. So, I mean, they're doing a hell of a lot better than GA players who are, doing it all for lunch and vouchers and, slaps on the back and stuff.
So you can't really.
So there is definitely a career as it's the first of several careers that you'll have. It's also, to a certain extent, is it really a job when you're being paid to do something you love that you've been doing since school, with your mates, etc. As regards keeping them in the country, we've seen before that you need to keep the domestic game strong, and to keep the domestic game strong, you need your star players playing at home, but also, French coaches don't give a feck if they overplay Irish players or if Irish players get injured, whatever. They don't care. Nothing doesn't impact them. And we've seen that before, where they'll be more carefree with a foreign player than they will with a French player. Sure, like the French, their whole army is the people they send first in are the Foreign Legion, who aren't French lads. So,
but the players are played to death. Not literally, obviously, in the French leagues.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But
they get their money's worth out of them.
But not DuPont. Not their star French players. They're not played to death. And the other players are. And I mean, there's certain French players who are. But no, I think it's right that you have to kind of earn your stripes, and you need to accumulate. As Claire said, say if an Irish player has 50 or 60 caps, then if they want to go abroad and spend a couple of years in France, try and make a few quid before they retire, fair enough to them. I do think it's really ironic that we're having this discussion on the night that Reedy's not on. He'll be at home and he'll be raging now.
Screaming at the screen, yeah.
He'd be marching up and down the street in Glasgow with a I won't say it. I was going to say something else, Richard, but I'll get myself into trouble. Richard Holland, your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, actually, to be fair, what Claire said, there's a lot of merit to it. That it is a well-paid career. It is a very short career. Like, what do you get? 15 years at the top if you're lucky. It's, to be fair, in the twilight of your career, maybe you are winding down internationally anyway. What's to say? Someone comes in and they offers you 600,000 a year to go and play for 2 years in France. I take it, arm and all. Yeah, I don't really have an issue with it. I never did. I know New Zealand have done it. England have abandoned it, as far as I know. Wales used to do it. So I think it's time maybe that we drop it too. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
If Ty goes, do you reckon that they'll keep him on your spot, or they'll do a Sexton? They'll do a Sexton rule for it.
Yeah, I think they will. I'll be honest with you, because he is the best high head that we have. So there's no one to touch him at the moment, and the fact that he's 30, so he's another World Cup in him at the very least.
Yes.
Fair enough. Okay, Dave Sheedy, sorry. Go on there. Sorry, Dave. Before I come to you, go on there.
When's the last time a current pivotal Irish squad member has left for a foreign team?
It would have been
Johnny's
Paul
next.
O'Connell.
Apart from Johnny, obviously.
Because,
Zebo.
Yeah, we're talking about,
No, we're
Don't you
talking,
worry.
Dave. We're talking. No, Dara said pivotal.
Yeah, he was pivotal.
It wasn't
He was playing.
fucking
He was playing. Look, I hate the guy, but he was playing brilliant rugby at the time. And Joe
Paul
Schmidt just
O'Connell would have
didn't
been Paul O'Connell, I think, but he tore his hamstring at the World Cup, but he was heading to Toulon until
Yeah.
he tore
Yeah,
Yeah, but-
remember that. I'm glad
but he
didn't
was
go.
he was
Yeah, but-
retiring internationally, wasn't he, when he was going to Toulon?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah, and he didn't go.
was
He
he?
didn't
Yeah,
play.
Yeah. I think that was going to be his last season for Ireland anyway. So
Yeah. Oh,
I can
that's
see,
okay, yeah.
you know, I think it's always been a bit of an idle thread. It was like when Rog was going to go and kick for the Miami Dolphins, and then O'Driscoll was going to go to Bordeaux. It's always been kind of more of a negotiating tactic for the Irish lads. That
There is a lot of
contracts
that, yeah.
are up for renewal and they're off to France or somewhere.
They have a
I
good agent
think
behind
that's
them.
I think that's exactly. Sorry, Richard. Sorry, Richard. Go on.
No, just that they have a good agent behind them that drops that little nugget to the press, and all of a sudden everyone's kind of going, "Fuck, we may try and talk to him." You know, what does he want? What can we give him?
Yeah, but it took a while for O'Mahony to get his contract, didn't it?
It did, but there was other reasons for that. I'm informed.
Yeah, his
Go on,
contract
inform us.
his contract with the local garden centre probably had something to do with that.
No,
Uh,
him and Roundtree had a massive falling out apparently.
I
Oh,
heard
did they?
that,
Oh.
actually.
Yes.
I heard that.
That's-
Yeah.
What
I
happened?
heard
Yeah,
that.
I don't know.
It's
the
Thomond Park.
That-
It's Thomond Park.
That would have been a row I would have liked to see. Would have been like to be a fly on the wall for that one.
Did
Put me fucking money
Roundtree
on Peter O'Mahony any day.
slag his grass or something? Or
No, he's hydrangeas. He had to go to hydrangeas.
oh,
That's
Jesus.
right.
Right, Dave Sheedy, your thoughts on this about players playing abroad and all that sort of stuff that we're talking about?
Well, look, I think, I love loyalty because I don't want this sport turning into every other sport with mercenaries, and everything's money. Like, I always remember Jerry Flannery
Mike
saying,
Reedy is fucking creaming himself. Go on.
Mike Reedy in fucking disguise here.
His head just exploded.
no, but like, look. I always remember Jerry Flannery saying, half the time you're getting paid to do a job that you do for free. Now, these lads went from AIL straight to kind of professionalism, so I can see that. But the new crop, yeah, it's all about the money and the TikTok and this, that, and the other. If you train and become a better player, your profile will get higher. Other money opportunities will open up for you. Anyone who does a physical job like myself, I have no sympathy for these lads with their long season and, oh God, I have to run from A to B, 6-7 times a week. I have to trek fucking timber up and down doors and everything. I have no sympathy for them. And they're well paid as well. But I do want to keep that law in
They're
place.
not as well paid as carpenters.
Yeah, right.
Let me know this day and age.
My father was a carpenter. I will dispute that.
I'll dispute it as well.
They were paid well.
Look, I think that rule is a good rule because you'd have the likes of that little bollocks Craig Casey and all these pumping over to France and getting all the money. Fella needs a slap around the head. But they would. I think a lot of, we need to keep the Irish clubs competitive. And that's the only way of keeping them because, the French should be all over Tyke Byrne. The French should be all over Doris if that rule was gone. And they just here, take the money, take the money, take the money. And the lads will back eventually. And then Leinster will suffer, Munster will suffer, Connacht and Ulster will definitely suffer. Because they haven't got the conveyor belt that Leinster and Munster kind of have, even though we don't have much of a conveyor belt anymore.
But how would Connacht and Ulster suffer when, in fairness, they don't have? I'm not slagging Connacht and Ulster. I'm just trying to address your point. How would Connacht and Ulster suffer when they don't really? I mean, you could probably count on one hand, if you're missing 3 fingers, the amount of key players Connacht and Ulster have.
And those key players would be gone. Because same with the likes of Doris, same with the likes of anyone else. Take the money from English and French clubs. I don't care about any other country. I care about Ireland and Irish clubs. That's all I care about.
Likewise,
I think that rule is essential to keep lads at home because everyone falls to temptation, lads. You heard himself saying, he offered me 600 quid, I'd be gone. Yeah, 600,000, whatever. Now, loyalty is something we don't really have in sport anymore, and we all miss it. But I think if you get rid of that rule, you just see an exodus of Irish players, especially the lads who maybe are on the fringes, and the Pro D2 will be coming for them, or the Championship in England or stuff like that. You know, whereas these young fellas have aspirations. Like say Sam Prendergast, right? He's got how many halves ahead of him at the minute now? Like if someone comes in from Bordeaux or something, just go, Sam, here's 300,000 a year. Come over to us for a year. Gone. And do you know what? I remember Rog looking for Crowley. I always thought it would have been a good idea because Sexton was still there if he actually went over to La Rochelle for a year or two and then came back. So, like, I mean, it's either do it early in the career or late in the career, but not in the prime year because, you know, Ireland needs you. Irish clubs need you. So I wouldn't be a fan of changing that rule because I don't want rugby to turn into the English Premiership. I really don't. Too many mercenaries.
I do remember at the peak of his career, Peter O'Mahony been linked a couple of times to a move as well.
But that's all hearsay as well. Like Draco and Rog and the Miami Dolphins. Everyone does that just to get the IRF.
That goes back to having a good age. Yeah.
Okay, so before I come to Matt on this, Claire, are you yes or no to keep this law rule, whatever it is?
Oh, here.
Yes
or no?
Give us a damn answer, girl.
Come on, Claire, you fucking politician.
Yes, with conditions.
Right, okay.
Don't Simon Harris us now.
Hold on. Come on. Dara Weston, yes or no for keeping it in place?
100% yes.
Right. Richard Holland?
Yeah, I think I would keep it, but with maybe a couple of amendments.
Ooh, okay. And Dave Sheedy, you said yes.
I wouldn't be opposed though to that 50 cap rule. If they get 50 caps for Ireland, then maybe I wouldn't really be opposed to that. But in the prime of their career,
but isn't that what the Welsh players have, Dave?
Yeah.
Like
and I think it's not too bad. I don't think it's too bad.
All right, okay. Right, Matt Bollinger, you're the last voice on this particular point before we move on. What do you make of all this?
Yeah, well, I think, to be fair to Dave, he's made some very good points there. Now, I originally had always kind of said that I think it's better the players play here to play for their country, but I'm kind of liking that whole cap rule thing where after that period they might get away on a certain condition. But what really fucking galls me about this whole fucking thing is they made one exception to the rule at the time. And for the IRF, like if they want to say, right, well, all the players have to play in Ireland and to stay in Ireland and play for your country, but we let him go because, you know, we've nobody else. That was a lot of bollocks. He should have been listen, Johnny, you go, you're not fucking playing, end of story. You stay and
they were never going to do that.
That's just fucking not having a pair of balls. Like just fucking grow a pair. Somebody wants to go, you let them go, but you tell them, fuck it, no, you're not playing then. So you make the decision.
And maybe if they had had a set of balls and done it, we wouldn't be in the position we are now with not decent 10. We would have had someone bedded in by now.
Exactly.
And then when Johnny came back, he would have fought for the 10 again, but we probably wouldn't be. So.
Exactly.
Or he might never have come back. We might never have got to world number 1. We might never have had 19 games unbeaten. You know.
If me auntie had balls, she'd be me uncle. It's the same fucking thing. Like.
Yeah.
He's gone, lads. Jack Crowley's the next big thing.
Right. Actually, we were talking about pivotal players, not including Zebo here, but I just a couple of notables. We had Tommy Bowe going to Ospreys. We had Ty Byrne in Scarlets. And we had
Ty Byrne went early in the career, and when he left Leinster, he wasn't nearly as good as he is now. So I think that did him the world of good to go away and play across there and then come back. So
was Tommy Bowe still playing for Ireland when he was with the Ospreys? I think he was.
No,
he was definitely cut.
Yeah. No, he was gone. Yeah.
Okay.
Donegal Ryan was another one actually.
Oh, Donegal Ryan, that was an absolute disgrace. Him and Stringer. If I ever get, I know he's dead now, but Gareth Fitzgerald, man, what he did to Stringer and Donegal Ryan just boiled my blood, and it still boils my blood. It was absolute disgrace they were let go.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. there.
Amazing.
Hold on, Dave Sheedy. You can't just come out with something like that. Explain yourself.
No, it's because Donncha Ryan was the best second row we had at the time, and people go on about Toner and all these great players, but Donncha Ryan was the best second row we had. Stringer was still the quickest pass from the base of a ruck, and the two of them were just like, "Oh no, good luck." I was fuming, man. Absolutely. My voice has gone from the picnic, so I'm kind of hitting the teenage high notes again. Unfortunately,
Were you at Electric Picnic?
I was, yeah. Unfortunately.
Sorry to hear that.
What's it like being sober?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
He's probably not even sobered up yet.
Right, okay, folks. We move on from that. Okay, so the result.
Hold on, you can't say notable players without mentioning Leo Cullen going to Leicester as well.
Yes, that happened.
Oh boy, Dara, I was kind of pushing over.
Hang on, actually, no, a name has just popped into my fucking head that's going back years, right? Jordan Murphy. Wasn't he playing for Ireland when he played for fucking Leicester?
Jordan Murphy.
Yeah.
He was.
So what?
Yeah, but Dara, Leo. So, hold on. Sorry, Matt. Go on. You go. Go on. You finish your point, Matt.
So, like, Jordan Murphy was playing for Leicester Tigers, and I think he nearly played for them for fucking years, and he was playing for Ireland. So why was he allowed?
But was that not before this whole thing came into?
Yeah, before the ring.
I think it was.
I think that was
legalized.
he brought it in.
Okay, that makes sense.
And also,
that makes sense then. That's 100%.
They wouldn't play Gervin Dempsey, who was the Leinster fullback at the time.
Yeah.
And at that stage, Munster were getting New Zealand fullbacks. So it was, we were kind of stuck, really.
Oh, that was the Christian Cullen era, Dara.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Right. Who have we got? I want to ask an appropriate person this next question. Claire, right?
Yes.
I
wouldn't call me appropriate, but yeah.
No, you'll understand when I ask the question. Right?
I know what it is.
Merchandising kits. Claire, I was talking to you on the phone earlier about tonight and topics and all that sort of stuff, and your son Dominic was in the background giving us some advice. But my question is, do we actually need 4, 5, 6 different fucking jerseys? If you're a parent, you're a parent and your kid supports Leinster,
even if you're not parent,
hold on, 1 second. If you're a parent of a teenage girl, boy, whatever, they are HMV, all that sort of stuff, whatever. You want to put, and they want the latest jersey. There's 4 or 5 of them that are averaging €100 a pop. Do we really need 4, 5, 6 bloody fucking 2 all kits, 2 away, or a home kit, an away kit, a European kit? Is this just not fucking? Is it just not gone stupid?
It is gone stupid. I'm glad that Dominic can buy his own gear now, because I wouldn't be getting it. But it's not only the home kit, the away kit, the alternative kit. Then you have the training gear. Then you have the warm up gear, and then you have the singlets, and then you have the fit ladies gear. Then you have the socks, and then you have the hat, and then you have the jackets, and then you have the bags. Like you could spend a pretty penny on the stuff. I seen this thing today, the singlet. The Leinster singlet was plain blue with just Leinster on it. It's fine. I seen a girl wearing it last week at the Leinster match. It was lovely. It was like, oh, that looks nice. Then when I went on today, I seen the exact same singlet for €50, but it just has a different design on it. Why do you need 2 singlets, both blue, but one has a different pattern on it? Like, that's Castor fucking money hungry.
But
and they can't even make a decent jersey.
But
no, not just Castor, to be fair.
I was just going to say,
you never really had that with Canterbury, did you? A couple of years ago, you never really had that with Canterbury.
That's because Canterbury only had about 4 or 5 designs in any colour.
Yeah, but
that was it.
But they were still better than Castor. They didn't have No, I think they're getting very. I think again, don't want to ruin, but they're getting very like soccer. They're they're starting to change the kits every year, literally every single year. You're getting
Well, what
9
they've
months and
done
then
that.
say
I mean, historically, Claire, that's not new now because they did all the provinces changed their gear, their jersey every year. But that's that'll be.
yeah, I
Well,
thought, it just seems to be coming around a lot quicker now. I don't know if that's because I'm getting older. It seems to be coming quicker and quicker and quicker. And as I said, the amount of you have home, away, alternative, then you have the training gear, then you have the body warmers, and it's a
European jersey,
vast amount of
European gear.
as well.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, and then the
Do you know?
training jersey.
Actually, yeah, training gear, the tracksuits. Do you know the one thing they don't have, which I'm really hoping that they
They don't
do
have a
bring out?
jacket.
They do have jackets. I want
Do they?
Leinster.
I haven't seen a jacket.
I want Leinster branded underpants.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, no, I do.
No,
I want.
no.
I want that.
Fucking budgies
I
out
thought
of
he
it.
was on length for Johnny's, to be honest.
I think you forget
Leinster
they have,
bras.
Fucking
they
banana
have a
hammocks.
jersey. They have a jersey for the league and they have a jersey for Europe as well. You forgot about that.
All right. Okay. All
Well,
right. Well,
Munster do anyway, and it's the blood.
Yeah,
all
no,
right. Well, that's all right. Calm your fucking tits when you have fucking.
But we
stuff
get
in
more
here.
wear out of our Europe jerseys.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, come on.
As
Dara
I,
Weston.
as I
Okay.
no, I was just going to say, as I said, at this stage, I am so glad that Dominic is an adult now, and if he wants the jersey, he's paying for it himself. Like, I'm glad I don't have to pay like 90 and 100 quid for a jersey for him.
I was in Lifestyle Sports earlier, and I just saw them. For fuck's sake, Jesus Christ. Anyway, Dara Weston. Sorry, go on, Claire. Finish before
I did decent. I did nice looking in real life. I haven't actually seen one in the shop. I haven't been into the shop to see one. I did nice in real, like I did nice IRL.
They're not bad. 7 out of 10. I'll give them.
Okay, thank you.
They don't feel. They're not Canterbury. Put it that way. Dara Weston.
We know that.
I know. Dara Weston. This whole thing of having 5, 6, 7, or 6. Or
Yeah, so we've come a long way. I remember back in the mid 1990s when Nike got the Irish contract, and all Nike had was a sweatshirt and a shirt, and that was it. There wasn't even a jumper. You couldn't buy the shorts.
There was tracksuit bottoms.
Supporters, and there was tracksuit bottoms came out about 6 months into the first season, and there was uproar about it. Like, forget about kids. My wife's a Munster fan. She won't allow me buy that much Leinster gear, so I have to do kind of horse trading with my mates to make sure I get it as presents at Christmas and things like that. But like, it used to be the case that you had your home gear, your away gear, and then your alternate kit, and only one of them changed every year.
Yeah.
And this is why we had Gobshite with his other group saying that he knew a fellow who was a model in Adidas, and they were switching to Adidas, and that's why they were selling off 2 of the jerseys. It wasn't because Castor were getting a new jersey; they were getting 2 new jerseys. But as Claire said, it's ridiculous. You have the home kit, you have the away kit, you have the alternate kit, you have the traveling gear, which the players wear when they're traveling on the bus. You have the training gear that you can wear down the gym. Or
the bar.
Just the amount.
Or the bar.
Yeah, exactly. The amount of stuff is literally ridiculous. But obviously, I mean, it's within the club's powers to actually limit this. I mean, there was a thing a couple of years ago in English soccer where the clubs start saying, no, we have to be more responsible. We put in our contracts with shirt makers that only one shirt can be changed per season because there was a lot of pressure put on them by TV programs and families and stuff. So like when Leinster are out negotiating a contract, they can say, okay, you can have 4 ranges of Leinster jerseys, but you can only change one every season. So that way, at least you can buy one of the jerseys and you get 3 years out of it, whatever. But, it used to be you had to change your Leinster gear every year because there was another star going on it. Now it's been, 4 or 5 years since we got one of those, 6 years. Well, it's only 2 years if you don't count COVID. So, it does feel a bit strange having to constantly change the jersey and not getting an extra star. Like, it feels like you're being shortchanged.
Okay.
Jesus, the smell of South African coming from the Derricks.
Go on, Dave Sheedy. Since you've
Munster got a green jersey for change gear this year. It fucking
I don't know,
fits
I
well,
haven't
Green with
seen-
Envy.
No, there's a
Agreed
hideous
with
grey
him.
going around.
Right,
Agreed
go
in
on.
Gojo. Are they trying to turn into South Africa?
I've no idea. Dave Sheedy, do the provinces Munster, Ulster, Connacht, Leinster, does every province has this issue? Do we really
I'd say-
need that many bloody jerseys?
No, obviously, look, everyone's going to say no, but it's more the price of the jerseys. I think is more of a problem than the absolute amount. And like, if they're going to give a range of items to buy, why can't it be practical? Like for years, I've been looking for a jacket, a Munster jacket that you can put a fleece inside because it's fucking cold in Thomond on a winter's eve. But then you might get a bit of sun in March. You bring your jacket, and then it's like, oh, it's too much. You know, I don't understand why they don't appeal.
Yes,
to
the
the
supporters club done a jacket like that.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah, they actually the OLSC a couple of years ago done a jacket like that. It's a two jacket, one inside and then another one on the outside, and it zips up and matches
with
together.
a fleece
Yeah, It was they actually done the amount of people, there's the fans that actually have them. They did that. Sorry, maybe your supporters club could do it.
Well, you know,
I think there's a minimum quantity on those orders.
What's that, like 10, Dara?
I think it could be as high as 20, I think, Peter.
No, go on, Dave. Go on.
Look. I just think that I think the range of stuff now isn't as good as it was maybe 10 years ago, because I had the hoodie. I must have about 6 or 7 jerseys in there, and I still wear me one from 2006 more than any of them. But I had 1 or 2 hoodies. I have a mug. Well, you can't get any of this stuff now. It's just one hat, a rugby ball, tracksuit bottoms, a tracksuit top, not even a hoodie, and then your options of fucking jerseys, this singlets, this, that, the other stuff that I think.
And the wallet.
Yeah. But like, not many people are going to use a lot of this stuff, you know? I mean, like our kids, I don't know, but our kids going, oh, I want the latest Munster jersey and training kit and this and that, you know?
Well, that's the problem. Like, if you have 2 or 3 kids, there's 300 quid or 400 quid or whatever you want to do it.
Well, it's quite simple. It's quite simple. No.
Well,
get one jersey and feck off.
Yeah.
That's quite simple. If you have 3 kids, sell one, and you only have to buy for 2.
No, but just like
I don't have 3 kids.
People need to learn to say no as well to their kids, you know.
Or you could just wear a fucking Johnny.
I've extended family members in Dublin who are practically beating children into Munster jerseys because they won't grow up as dubs.
I actually bought. I am a Leinster.
I'm sure there's Leinster people in Munster who are buying their kids Leinster kit as well. You know,
go on, Claire.
I have a Munster jersey. I bought a Munster jersey. I actually have a Munster jersey. I have the Munster jersey from a couple of years ago. Yeah, no, I do. And I actually wore it when I went to watch Munster in the Aviva. They lost that one.
Peter,
I'm married to a Munster woman, and if I go to support Munster, I still wear my Leinster jersey.
No, I actually wore it.
My outfit went to Edinburgh in 2009 and wore his Munster jersey and supported Leinster. Same thing. You're not going to change your colours. No way.
This is not soccer.
Richard, Richard, were you going to say something there?
Did you not wear a Munster jersey to out to a pub in Dublin? They were playing in a European Cup match or something.
That was a bet. That was a bet I lost.
Yeah, he's still runnable.
That was a bet I lost with the head of the Munster Players Committee supporters thing club, whatever the fuck you call it. A good guy, actually. A good guy. Dave Carney. He's a good guy, actually. I've spoken to him.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Oh, no, I haven't spoken to him. Sorry, I'm mixing him up with someone else. But no, Dave, the MRSC, he was the management or whatever the fuck you call it. But yeah, we had a bet and I lost the bet. I said, yeah, there you go. And he returned the favour. He wore a Leinster jersey to a Munster game or photographed and put it up on his Facebook page and all that. Good guy. Anyway, last voice on this, Matt Boland. Too many jerseys to choose from.
Of course there is. But the problem is, people are still going to buy it. Do you know, I know people don't want to be buying for their kids, blah, 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 but people that are themselves earning their own money, they're still going to buy it. Like, it's like anything else. Like, if you have a business and you're selling one product and you can make 4 different products out of the same product and sell them all at the same time, you're going to 100% do it. So I don't blame them for doing it. Is it right? Probably not. But there's a market for, if there's a market for it and they can make money. I don't give a
That's
shit.
true. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
No,
I'll fly around this because actually, Claire, I just thought about something that you
The
mentioned.
day of hand-me-downs is long gone, obviously. Yeah.
I
True.
used to always get hand-me-downs.
Can I
I
throw you
used to-
this
I-
as a follow-on, Peter?
Go on.
Why are the IRFU blocking the provinces from getting access to Canterbury? Like, why?
Well, what do you mean?
Why is there an exclusion there? Where because
No, I think the
Canterbury, they have a contract that Canterbury can only be the national squad. The provinces can't have Canterbury jerseys.
Well, I'd say
That's what we were told.
I'd say that's a business decision, Dara. More.
No, hold on. Leinster had Canterbury jerseys.
No, they're Castor.
No, Castor.
No, but
in the
they
last
had.
couple of years.
Oh, they have.
Yeah,
years
but in
ago.
the last couple of years,
ago, yeah,
apparently
yeah,
the
yeah.
IRFU have an exclusive contract with Canterbury, which means the provinces can't have access to Canterbury.
Serious?
That's
I,
weird.
I would imagine that is the commercial marketing officer in Canterbury earned his money when he signed that contract.
Yeah.
That's all I say. I don't know, Dara. I don't know the reasoning.
Here's a
or
question
why.
for your next press conference. You're at the Aviva.
All right, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. But no, quickly, briefly, before we end on this, just briefly, everyone. I just go around everyone. We're talking about the merchandise and all that. Where is the greed coming from? The team or the sponsor? So is it Castor or Leinster, Munster, Ulster, Connacht? Where is the
Wages
greed
bills.
coming from?
It's coming from
Okay.
the provinces supporting their wages bill.
It's
Okay.
all of the above, I think, yeah, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's management in the rugby clubs, and I think it's obviously, I mean, if I'm Mr. Adidas, I want to sell as many bloody jerseys as I can. So, yeah, it's coming from every angle.
All right. Okay. Right. Moving on from that. Let me see. What do I have here? Oh, yes. This 6-month loan thing. Matt, you've been last twice. I'll come to you first. This 6-month loan thing with New Zealand players coming into Europe, most notably Barrett, obviously, to Leinster, and then we have apparently Damien McKenzie going to La Rochelle. Now, this is when their season is over, they have a month off, and then they just decide, well, fuck this, I'm going to go and just keep playing rugby. So we have Barrett coming to Leinster. Rumours are nearly short rumours that Damien McKenzie is going to La Rochelle. Is this something that could be reciprocated? Now, I don't know how they do it, that Northern Hemisphere players would go to the Southern Hemisphere for their time off, or could they be fucking arse doing it? Or why do New Zealand players want to do it? Matt, are there any thoughts on this? Or
I have no idea. I just think it's that whole 6-month thing is a lot of bollocks. And I've said it before, Geordie Barrett coming to Leinster for 6 months is a waste of fucking time. Like.
Yeah.
Is it even 6 months?
I don't know.
Not going to the end of it.
I know it's all.
Yeah,
I think so.
But at the end of the day, like, unless he actually contributes to Leinster, unless they fucking get a fucking star, it'll be worth nothing. You know.
Yeah. Sorry, Claire. Go on. You were going to say?
No, I was just going. It's not even 6 months. I think he's only here for like 5, isn't he?
Even
And
worse.
there's the thing. There's the thing for you. Are New Zealand rugby still paying his wages, or against topping them up?
That's why he's coming over, because we're taking his wages.
Are we taking his wages for the time?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
New
that.
Zealand
I
don't
thought,
have a put
yeah.
the piss in, so they need to send the players abroad.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Richard Holland.
It's, in a way, it's a way around what we spoke about earlier about if you're playing a foreign. It is kind of a weird way around it. I'll grant you that. I'll go around for 6 months and go here and go there. But
He's on trial.
yeah, it's a load of absolute bollocks, though, isn't it? Really? I mean, it's more and more like soccer. Oh well, I like you. I'm not going to sign you, but I'm going to take you on loan for 6 months, and we're going to pay your wages. You know, it makes no fucking sense, like.
Well, actually, that's a good point. Claire, Matt, that was mentioned. Dara, who is actually paying Barrett's wages when he's here?
It has to be Leinster, isn't it?
Has to be there.
It has to be Leinster, but he's still contracted to New Zealand.
I know, but Claire, if he's still under contract to New Zealand and he's on loan to Leinster, so who foots the bill for Barrett here? 100%. Surely it's a split thing.
I don't know what way.
It's going to depend on the contract to negotiate.
Yeah.
I suspect they're taking a leaf out of the Wendy Ball book, where when a player is still under contract but he goes to another club, the other club pay the wages he would have got staying at the original club.
Yeah.
So you're paying for the privilege to get the player.
Yeah. Or maybe he's doing it for the love of rugby.
That's apparently what he said. Dave Sheedy, your thoughts on this 6 months window that the New Zealand players come over to rugby, be it France or be it to Leinster?
Like, are the lads doing it in their off season?
Yeah.
So what's the problem? Let them, if they want to do a nixer, if they want to do a nixer overseas and earn a bit more coin, fair play. And as Richie pointed out, it's a way of getting around the, playing abroad without playing, devoting to it for a year or two. I mean, any really top of the line players that have come to New Zealand, to Ireland, have always contributed great knowledge to the teams that they went into. And I remember not really Christian Cullen, but
he contributed more genetics around Limerick, I think, than knowledge.
Probably, yeah. But like, I mean, look at when Rog went down to coach in the Crusaders. He was saying that there were just, defensively, like, I mean, there's good aspects to our game that they don't have, and vice versa. Like, so I mean, I wouldn't be against a Tyke Byrne going down signing for the Chiefs in his off season or something like that, or any of the Aussie teams or anything like that. No problem. If they don't want to take holidays or want to keep playing rugby, go on, knock yourself out.
All right,
I have no problem with that. But don't come back and be whinging you the long fecking season when you did it upon yourself and you can't get up from that ruck.
Oh, I'm sure they won't. Hold on, I'm just checking my notes here just to make sure I haven't. Oh yes, Claire, I'll come with you because you watched these, and this is what we spoke about earlier. The New Zealand versus Argentina game, which gave New Zealand their
50th win in Eden Park on the trot.
And that's a record. I think that's a record.
Yeah.
It is a record breaking.
They haven't been betting Eden Park since 1994. The last team to beat them.
Claire, stop.
Right.
When was Claire? You're not allowed to answer. When was? Or sorry, Claire just mentioned it there. The last time New Zealand lost in Eden Park was 1994. Who did they lose against?
I saw this the other day.
I know, yeah.
I just said it. I just answered it.
Was it France?
Yeah, France. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw it the other day.
I thought it was France.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Now,
and that was in the day of amateur rugby when you think about it.
It was a year before I went professional. Yeah, a year before I went professional. Yeah, you're quite right. But most notably, the question I was going to ask, Richard, I'll come to you first. Sorry, Dara Weston, I'll come to you first. Richard, I'll come to you after this. South Africa beating Australia, predictably. South Africa 30, Australia 12. Thanks, Claire, by the way, for the scores earlier. Dara Weston, is Joe Schmidt just making a fucking bollocks of this, or does he just not have the players?
Joe Schmidt's only less than half a dozen games into his reign
but,
there.
Yeah, I know, but I saw this.
Hold on a second now.
Go on.
We had Campo on there a couple of months ago, or was it last year? And he was talking about how rugby union is actually a minority sport now. He can walk down the street in Australia and not be recognised by young lads and young girls. They have no idea who the flying Australian on the wing was. When feckin' we'd know more about him than they would. Rugby union is a sport there that's been beaten by rugby league. It's been beaten by Aussie rules. It's been beaten by cricket. So it's becoming a minority sport, and soccer as well is massive now over there. So I mean, they're not. Yes, they do need to improve their results to turn around the image of rugby union and the popularity of it. But Jesus, as good as Joe Schmidt is, like, take him a couple of games to get any kind of fluidity out of them. I mean, Eddie Jones basically brought them to rock bottom. So I wouldn't be blaming Joe Schmidt yet. Give him another 5 or 6 games. If we're not seeing any green shoots of improvement there, then start tearing into him. But he has to basically take the players and teach them how not to be shite again. After Eddie teaching them how to be shite.
Yeah, well, he's still in the same position as Gatlin, though, isn't he? He's just got a team handed the team.
Well, I think that Gatlin's more of a coach and spoofer. So, Joe can actually adapt. Gatland, I think, just played worm ball, and he went home to New Zealand thinking he'd get the All Blacks job, and the All Blacks basically kind of laughed at him.
Yeah.
And so then he kind of turned around with his big droopy head and went, "I suppose I'll go back to Wales then and coach them."
Wasn't he with the Chiefs though? Was he?
He was, but he wouldn't. They wouldn't give him a contract for the All Blacks, which
he was shy with them. He was shy with them as well.
Yeah. I remember that.
They were shy. The Chiefs were shy that year.
Yeah.
Matt Boland, same question to you about Australia. Joe Schmidt, is he, or would you say what Dara said? And I kind of agree with Dara. He does have more games.
You can't go into a team and turn them around in one fucking match. It's impossible. You need
Richie Murphy did it. Richie Murphy did it with Ulster.
He got lucky.
Yeah. Declan Kidney did it with Ireland.
Look, nowadays it's not as fucking easy to do with any team, like especially when a team like Australia, who were pretty much a good solid team in the fucking Southern Hemisphere and have been for fucking years, when they go to rock bottom, they have a big issue, as Darren Weston said, with no fucking players going into the game, into union anymore. They're either playing Aussie rules or they're playing fucking whatever. You need time. You can't. Most managers can't go in and change a team over fucking 1 year. Like, do you know what I mean? You need a season at least.
Well, in fairness, Matt, I'll counteract that. And Dave Sheedy, you might agree with me. Actually, you all might agree with me. When Graham Roundtree took over, he did have a bit of a stretch to get Munster.
Yeah.
I would have got Munster playing better as well. I mean, that wasn't hard. Van Graham was a thundering disgrace.
Look, Roundtree has done really well with fucking Munster. Like
he has.
There's no doubt about it. But again, he didn't do it overnight.
He had 3 years there before that, or 4 years, whatever it was.
Exactly. Like look at Andy Farrell coming in after Joe Schmidt. Like, he was there during the Joe Schmidt fucking background staff, and when he left, he kind of took it on and just.
And to be fair, with the Andy Farrell thing, I mean, he was there for 2 years, and there was people not happy with the results and started calling for his head, and then bang, 1 Six Nations just changed around. It's how fickle we are.
You'll always have people calling for someone's head when they go into a new job, regardless any of the coaches.
I think the same thing happened when Joe Schmidt went to Leinster. I'm nearly sure they had an awful start when Joe Schmidt went to Leinster initially. They lost 4, 5, 6 on the bounce before.
Although look what he came in after as well. Look what Joe Schmidt came into Leinster after.
Granted. Don't mention.
We don't mention them years.
I wouldn't.
We don't mention them all when you literally were crying sitting in your seat. Oh no, I can't do this every week. Yeah. Why am I doing this every week? No, please no.
I wouldn't send them in front of the firing squad just yet.
6 years of Van Graham, we did it as well. So.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to fly around this because we're fast approaching the hour mark. Matt and whoever else hasn't answered. Joe Schmidt, stay of execution, unfair to judge him so soon after 6-7 games in. What do you think? Go on.
Yeah.
Fire away.
Yeah.
Richard, Matt, whoever hasn't answered yet.
You can't make it. You can't make a pig's ear or a silly person out of a pig's ear, not the term.
Yeah, one swallow doesn't make a summer, isn't that what they say? Yeah, it needs more time. Yeah, it needs more time.
Is that what Stormy Daniels said, Dave?
Jesus,
Right,
don't
folks.
give him recognition for that. Fucking
No,
hell.
don't. No, we're fast. But I wanted to end, folks. Dave Sheedy, I'll come to you. The women's Interpros were on last weekend. We had Munster beating the Munster women beating Leinster 32-21, and Ulster and Connacht drawing 25 all. I spoke with Claire earlier, and she pointed this out, and which is a very valid point, Dave. Why don't the women's Interpros, they play 3 games? Why don't they do a home and away fixture? Would that not be too much for the IRFU to organise or whatever? What would you say to that, Dave?
I'm possibly the worst person to come to about this because I don't really watch women's rugby. I'm going to get crucified for this now, but I honestly don't. When the girls failed to qualify for the World Cup and they started whinging and pointing the finger, I just went, that's it. I'm not watching women's rugby anymore. I don't really watch the sevens either, so I can't say much about any of that. I'm sorry.
No, that's fair enough. No, that's Dave. That's fair enough. I appreciate your honesty. That's fair enough. No, Matt, what do you think about this whole thing? Should they play a home and away fixture? Is 3 games enough for the women?
They need a home and away fixture, and it's not a big fucking task for the RFU to do either. It's only going to grow the game. They want the Irish women to be up there. They're only just recently gone professional, and they want them to be up with the likes of France and England. How are they going to do that without more development in within the squads and in the provincial game? Like, they can't, so they need to do something.
All right. Okay. Richard Holland, would you agree with that home and away fixture thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's a great idea, and it's definitely something that should be happening. I'm actually shocked that it hasn't happened yet. If not even as a revenue stream to go directly into the women's game as opposed to go into the central coffers of the RFU. No, I'd 100% agree with it. I think it's a great idea.
Okay, it was actually Claire's idea. It wasn't mine. Dara Weston.
That's why we're saying it's a great idea.
Yes, exactly. Dara Weston. I mean, it does seem a bit of a wasted opportunity for the IRFU not to do this.
Yeah, definitely. And it wouldn't be like the IRFU to waste opportunities. Unless there was money to be made. No, what was the phrase that came out of the Olympics? You have to see it to be it. About girls in sport and young girls. And if Munster are playing up in Ravenhill, not all girls are going to be able to persuade the parents to drive up to Belfast or whatever. So it's only right there should be home and away fixtures, so you have access to see your province play.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because I mean, if the IRFU were going to say, oh well, commercially now, it would mean the TV audiences would be less, or there'd be less ticket sales. Look, they can well afford to subsidise off the back of the men's international contracts that they get and provincial TV contracts.
Just going back to the television, I'll be honest with you. If it's rugby and it's on the television, I'm going to sit down and watch it. I don't care what gender they are.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'm the same, Richard. Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah, so am I.
Right, go on. Last word on this, Claire, and you're going to close the show because it was your suggestion. So go on, go ahead.
I was up against the home game. And I have to say the difference between this year and last year was the IRFU put a little bit more effort into it this year than they did last year. So they're starting to come up. So as was said, to see it, to play it, the amount of young girls that were there, that were watching it, the ex-ladies were there. They were in the crowd. They were walking around and the girls were up asking them questions, and it was great. So there should be more interaction for that for the ladies rugby. There was a girl sitting beside me, and she had only behind me, and she had only started playing, and it was the first game she had ever been at. She had only started training like 3 weeks beforehand. 1,000,001 questions, and that was the opportunity for her to ask, because she would never go to the men's game and ask it, because she didn't feel it was her place. So in the ladies' game. She was there. She was asking questions. She was getting the answers from everyone. So I think they should do a lot more than 3 games a year.
Right. Okay. The fact that individual didn't want to ask or didn't feel comfortable asking questions at a men's game, I think that's another show entirely.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, folks, we're overtime as per usual, although not by much this time. We're only 5 minutes overtime. There you go. Right, all that's left for me.
Sure,
Yes,
on Wexford time.
I'm on Wexford time, yes.
Yellow belly time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I just say, actually, speaking of Wexford, that even though I'm a Munster fan, that Leinster are training in Gorey on Thursday, I believe, at 10:30, and then in my hometown club in New Ross on Friday morning. Meet and greet, yeah. So that the training is from 10:30 to 1 o'clock, and then there's a meet and greet after. So if anyone has kids or they want to go down and see him,
Peter Brook will be stalking them.
I am going. I am
open
going.
Training session, so everyone's welcome.
I'm going to the open training
Well,
session
Peter.
tomorrow. It's tomorrow in Gorey RFC. I'm meeting Joe Shep for breakfast at 10 o'clock in the Cow House on the Courtown Road. And then we're heading down to Gorey RFC for the open training session. I'm sure I'll bore you all to fucking tears with my photographs.
Are you getting a press?
I'm so putting the group chat onto mute tomorrow from about 11 o'clock. I'm so going.
Peter, have you bleached your hoop yet?
No, not yet. No. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do that now when I hang up.
I thought you were just going to ask them to sign a jersey. I didn't think he was asking them to sign that.
Are you down in Courtown, are you?
I'm down in
He's
Gorey.
in Gorey.
I'm in Gorey.
He's not. He wouldn't go to Court. He doesn't go to Courtown.
No,
I can't go to Courtown. I haven't got me fucking shots, and I don't have my passport, so I can't go near Courtown.
If you went looking, you'll find shots in Courtown. Believe me.
I'm sure you would.
You'll more than that down in Courtown.
You probably will, yeah. Anyway, all that's left for us to do, is to thank all of you. But I'll thank Matt, I'll thank Dave Sheedy, I'll thank Dara Weston. Although I think Richard Holland called you Darren, if I'm not mistaken. So that's another name, Dara. That's another name.
No, that was Matt.
That
was Matt. That wasn't me.
No, that was actually Dave Sheedy.
Hey! I address people by their proper fucking title.
My thanks to Richard Holland, and my thanks to Claire Devaney, and all of you who were watching and attended in. Gregor Galway, thanks a million, Mike Sheedy. Listen, we'll talk to you all next week, and listen, have a good evening, and we'll talk to you all soon. Take care. Good luck, folks.
Good luck.
Adios. God bless.